Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today we're going to look and do some problem diagnosis on a Penn Battle 3000. I think this is the Battle 2. Yeah, this is the Battle 2 3000. It was sent in by Merrill. It's a nice example of a good reel, but this is a good reel gone bad. And there's a couple of issues here that we're going to have to look at to find out what the root cause of the problem is. Probably order some parts and come back and show you how to rebuild the reel. But for now, we want to look at the problem diagnosis. Merrill tells me he thinks it's broken teeth on a main gear, probably caused by getting a hang-up. I don't know if that happened to him or if that just happened to someone and he bought the reel or what have you. We're going to find that out. So the first thing you want to do is take a look at the reel. Generally speaking, I notice right away there's a very pronounced wobble in this rotor. That's certainly not correct, but it is easily correctable if you take off the spool. You're going to find that there's a rotor nut under there. These reels are very popular reels, and they have a good reputation. So you'll see under the axle shaft here that there is a nut right here, and that nut has not been tightened down all the way. And that's unfortunate. Somebody put the clamp back in. We got it clamped up. But in order to remove a wobble, that nut has to be tightened down. Now, interestingly enough, when you get that wobble, normally what you're going to see line-wise is you're going to see a figure 8 or the infinity pattern on the line wind on your reel. It's not going to be an even flow up and down. It's going to kind of be doing this from a lining and a this on the downstroke. And the reason for that is because the rotor itself is tilted, so the line won't be coming in under pressure. When you tilt this rotor under pressure, when the line is here, you tilt it, you're throwing it at an angle, and that angle shows up on the line. So if you're having a problem with line spooling that resembles a figure 8 pattern or an angular line lay, that's the problem right away. Simple solution, you want to get that. All right, let's see if the reel turns. Nope, there you go. So there's a miss in the gear. You can hear it right there. So let's go underneath and see what it is. We're probably going to have to order some pieces and parts, and then we'll probably be able to get this one back together. So he thinks it's missing teeth in the main gear. And the problem that you need to look out for when you're doing this diagnosis is just don't assume it's the missing teeth in the main gear. Go order the main gear and have your piece come in, reinstall, and then find out the reel still isn't working because of a ripple effect in the break that occurred. So for example, that tooth that chips out, that's going to be driving, if he's correct, it's going to be driving an oscillation gear. That oscillation gear is the one that moves the spool up and down. If the spool or oscillation gear came in contact with breaking teeth or caused the teeth to break, well, then you got to examine the teeth on that oscillation gear, because there's a good chance that both the teeth on the oscillation gear as well as the main gear got chipped or cracked in the process of trying to pull up Davy Jones' locker or whatever it may have snagged on, or whatever caused you to try and wrench out of a situation with the reel. So a good practice, if you're hung up on the rocks or tree trunks or the bottom or Davy Jones' locker or anything for that matter, don't use the reel to try and get yourself out of it. Just wrap the line around the butt of your rod. Use the butt of your rod like this, with the line wrapped around it, and manually pull on that line as opposed to using the reel to do that. If you use the reel, well, it's going to be the weakest link is going to win, and sometimes the weakest link is the gears. Sometimes if you're using a level wind feature, it's going to be the level wind guide, and in all cases it's going to be problematic. All right, we've taken the case off. We're going to go start to examine now behind that, and you need to take the axle shaft out to get a good look at what's going on. So roll the axle shaft all the way down until you have the clearance to remove the screw that's holding the crosswind block on. That's also holding the axle shaft on. And in order to do the work on this reel, you need to get that axle shaft out of there so you can see the entire picture. One of the things I was concerned about is that the axle shaft may have been bent in the process. Well, this is coming in and out nice and easy. So this is still true. You don't have a problem with the axle shaft. Now we can remove the main gear. That pulled out the crosswind block, and it pulled out the oscillation gear. And we're going to go take a look now and see what's going on. I'm going to start with the oscillation gear. So you have to look at the oscillation gear in two ways. You have to make sure that all of the teeth are there. And you have to make sure that they're uniform. This one looks pretty good, but the oscillation gear is a cheap piece. And if we have to go order one, it's worth ordering the other. These things are only about $2 maybe. So there's no sense taking chances if this is the cause of the repair. Let's look behind there then. Well, the drive for the oscillation gear is okay. So it's the small teeth here that drive the oscillation gear, so that's not the problem. Here it is, right here. So you want to look at the teeth here to make sure that they're uniform, and all of a sudden we're all flattened out on the gear right here. You can better see it if you look at the profile side. You'll see nice crisp teeth over here, and then as you get over here, you're totally flattened out with those gear pieces. So we're going to have to order a new main gear. And usually if those teeth broke off, you would look into the case to find them, but these have worn off. So the other piece that you want to look at with that gear, it won't be the oscillation gear that will be the issue. It'll be the pinion gear or the top gear, because this is the only one that those come in contact with. So the next thing you want to do is take your rotor off, which will be easy enough because we know that screw is loose. I'm putting all my pieces and parts into a parts tray right now. But we're going to remove that oscillation gear, or actually the pinion gear, to do further inspection. So you want to take that rotor off. Then we're going to remove the assembly. So this is a good time to say if you like what you're seeing here, if you like the diagnosis, if you like to learn how to repair, if you like to know why reels fail, then please subscribe to my channel. And if you do subscribe to my channel, please hit the notification button. That way you'll see all of the videos that I'm posting. I post on all kinds of fishing reels. And I can help with the specific problem that you have if you leave a question in the comment section. And I can also show you things to enhance your understanding of reel repair. This whole piece should pull out now, which it does. We want to take the collar off, the bearing. Just put that right back in the collar. This is the anti-reverse system with the clutch. This is the bottom bearing. And now I want to examine the pinion gear, because again, there was a fight going on here. Something may have ground down. And as I'm looking at it, it's absolutely certain that the first 2 or 3 of the ridges on this gear are worn. You can see how nice and crisp and straightforward this part is. Come on up here now, and these are all flattened out. So that's the wear that's causing the problem. We have 2 problems now. We have the main gear, we have the pinion gear. We're going to say that the crosswind gear and the drive on the main gear were fine. So this is a matter where this has to be replaced, the pinion gear, and the main gear have to be replaced. So I'm going to go order those, and then I will replace these. I'll put these in a bag, and we'll come back and we'll show you how that part goes, and we'll show you how this reel gets a second chance. So to everybody who's in the uniformed services, everybody, it's a first responder, essential personnel, everybody working in healthcare, thank you for all you do during the pandemic to keep us safe. To everybody else, let's do our part. Let's kind of do the things that make sense during these tough times. To all, please stay safe and stay well and stay watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.